Hey everyone, welcome to In the Lead, episode 42. I'm Sean Dominski and I'm here with Tyler Zai. And today we're going to be talking about how to track your leads and the importance of following up with those leads. Cool. All right. So this week, now we kind of hinted at it last week, and I was nervous because I never liked talking about something before it's actually here. But we have launched something, a pretty big, update, and it's This is the mystery app we've been waiting for a while.
Yeah, except now there's a new mystery app. It's kind of always keep the pipeline.
Yeah, there's
rolling.
always going to be a mystery app now. The last mystery app was launched. So, real quick, let's talk about this new app and and how it ties into what we're talking about with tracking our leads.
Yeah, exactly. So, you have Google Analytics. You can see how much website traffic you're getting. If you have any site out there with real estate, maybe they'll show you what people looked at after they opted in on their IDX, maybe. But most of the time, not even then. And so it leaves you sort of blind in terms of like what's getting you leads, like what pages or blog posts or content or houses are getting you leads, and like what do you say to these people who opted in as leads, and when do you call them, and all that stuff is super hard. So what we launched here at Easy Agent Pro to make that all easier is this thing called cookies. What it does is it tracks everyone that ever visits your site, and the second they opt in, it shows you every page they've ever visited on your website ever, from the beginning of time through when they opt in to after they opt in. And so it lets you know like the first thing that got them to your site. So then you can run ads to that and get more people like that to your site. It lets you see every house they looked at if they're a buyer, or every seller article on your blog they looked at, or if they visited the home value page or not. So you can really sort of know that pre-lead activity and start, getting more of those leads. And so it's a really cool app. One of the coolest features that I think it is it has this thing called the hot cookie feature. We love terrible puns here at Easy Agent Pro. You'll have to forgive us. But the hot cookie feature, what it actually does is it texts you the moment one of your older leads comes back to the site. Right. So if you've been around sales, CRMs are shipping these things that like when people open your email or click your email, they'll give you an alert on your computer or phone. Lead Sites now does that with your website. And I think it's one of the first. I don't know where else you can get that, honestly. I really don't. So let me know on Twitter if you find a place.
I can't even think about it. It's almost like a retargeting, but but through a text message. Then because if someone's like on your site, they leave, and then a day later they're on Google, and that if you retarget that and they're seeing now your ads on there, they're kind of thinking, I should go back there, I should check it out,
or they're ignoring your phone call because they're busy and you don't know when to call them, and now you get a text saying, hey, they're on your site reading about real estate. Well, guess what? It's the perfect time to text and call them, right? And send you this great. You just like hit the number on your phone and you're already calling them or texting them instantly. It's just going to boost your lead conversion like probably 2 or 3x, honestly.
Yeah, and kind of into the conversation about lead follow-up and stuff, because people like even this weekend we got the question like do you recommend any good drip campaigns and what the scripts and stuff like that, and I'm like, just give them a call, see what they need. Don't ask like your CRM, what do my clients
drips don't. So here's my thing about drips. Like drips are what people are talking about in '08, way back then, right? I know it's only 8 years, but it's way back then in internet marketing. And if you look around, like go to the grocery store, what you'll notice with Coke, they're putting names on the bottles. What are they doing with Snickers? They're putting these things that are people attached to. What's like AT&T mailing me? They're mailing me letters that are personalized, highlighted. They even have fake Post-it notes with like fake handwriting on it, right?
Real?
For real.
That's a real thing.
For
That's
real.
like
I got this yesterday.
Marketing.
Exactly. And it's
so funny.
People trying to figure out like how to personalize their stuff. And now what we're saying, personalization is so easy. Like now instead of a drip, you can send an email that's like 1234 Main Street, pros and cons. Hey Sean, saw you're looking at 1234 Main Street. That property has a long history here in Albuquerque, and I think there might be a few things you want to know about it before pursuing it further. Is there time to meet up at Starbucks this week to talk about it? Like that is going to convert. Like that one email is going to convert better than the best drip sequence that like Ogilvy wrote back in 1980, right? Like I don't care who wrote the drip sequence. That personalization of an email is going to go 10 times further than any sort of expert copywriting that you send all your leads.
Yeah. And I think I've said this here before. I've definitely said it like in conversation and stuff. Really, like marketing automation is kind of, which is kind of what you're describing when agents are talking about drip campaigns. Like that's for salvaging some money, some deals out of a pile of bad leads.
Right.
If you have a good lead, this is a neighbor or a friend that you've connected with who's been to your site, you've talked to them, they weren't ready a year ago, and now now they're back on their site, back on your site. Now, obviously, we didn't have cookies a year ago, but so they were on your site, like they enter in their information, you talk to them, they're not quite sure. Then you get a text message a week or two later that they're looking again, and you decide what to do with that. You might be like, okay, I knew they were going to, like, I don't want to bug them every time.
Right.
You might want to say...
But now you know what they're doing. You used to have no idea that this person was on your site looking at houses, and now you know every single time they're looking at houses, they're reading blog articles. It just lets you customize that follow-up sequence, that follow-up, with your buyers, your sellers, so much easier. And like old clients too, like send this to your list, get them on your site, opting in so you can track what they're doing. Maybe they're getting close to moving and you didn't have any clue, but now your lead site's going to tell you, hey, this guy who did a deal with you 5 years ago is on your site again, like looking at stuff. You should probably reach out because he's getting close to moving. Right.
And the other thing I feel like we have to say before people start assuming, like you're able to see when someone signs in as a lead is when it starts tracking, because we're taking that cookie and we're assigning it to a name, an email, and
but the cool thing is we've been tracking it the whole time, so that the second Sean opts in on my lead site, I can see every page he had visited from whenever historically and forever into the future. It's just great tech.
Yeah, and it's awesome to go through the demo. It's kind of, it's weird at first when you're going through the demo, you enter in your information, and then when you go in the back end to see the lead, you're seeing all these different pages that you looked at, and you're like, oh, that's right. That's exactly what I want. But seeing it kind of feels different. But, crazy. Honestly, everyone, I mean, it's the internet. Like Google knows every site you've ever...
Oh, God, they know every email you've ever
Facebook,
sent.
Yeah, these digital footprints, you should just know, like we're taking something that's already existed and now we're putting it in the hands of basically any real estate agent that wants it, which is something that agents themselves haven't had the ability to do. Now, before, everyone's going to be, oh, well, how, like, so I can see anyone who's on my site. I'm like, you can see the IP address, but until we connect that to an email and phone, well, how do I do that? It's like, look, you still have to provide valuable content, build trust and credibility, and ask them for their information. That doesn't change, but now when you go back, you can see where, like, what page did they come in on, what's working, what advertising is working, what we were talking about before, doubling down on the ads that are actually working. And now when you follow up with them, you can not only get the right message, but you can get the right timing.
It just makes everything better. I mean, I really don't know how you're going to follow up with someone outside of knowing all this stuff. I just don't know how.
And there's another thing too that, and we hear these numbers thrown around. I honestly don't know how scientific they are, but they sound good. It's important is to contact your lead within 30 seconds of filling out a form, within 5 minutes, and then they have this whole slope, like the effectiveness wears off in like an hour and then 12 hours, and that's why we started Texty, so you can touch base with them right away. But then
you don't even have to. Your lead site auto texts them.
Right, exactly. So you can call them as soon as they leave that form, but now you can also call them back again as soon as they come back to the website. So it starts that effectiveness over again, every time that they come back. It's not, if they come to your site, you contact them, you weren't able to talk to them, and then 2 days later, instead of calling back someone, trying to randomly call them back, you can call them back right after they've been to your site.
Exactly when they're ready to talk about real estate. Exactly when they're on your, like, I don't know. I just don't know if this existed before. Like, I just don't. Like, I'd love to tell you the free solution to go do it. Our app is free with the lead site. So
now there were ways of doing this with IDX, because the IDX and the search providers, they could see when you're looking at you could see when you're looking at a property and let you know. And there's different like things that you can track that. The problem is your market, not all of your future customers are going to be on your site looking for houses, because you are, now you're competing again with Zillow and Trulia, and we've already talked about why that's not a good idea. And the other thing is there's no way to track what content they were looking at, so you were only getting home searcher leads. So seller leads, people looking for information, like there's a lot of things slipping through the crack that you couldn't do, and now you can track the content that they're actually reading and absorbing and consuming, other than just the listings. But yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything per se. I don't know. Maybe you could duct tape something together if you have unlimited time to learn how to code and whatnot. But yeah, no, it is really exciting, and especially because it's something that it's just already there. You don't have to add it. You don't have to plug it in. It's already there. And then anyone who's on the new theme also, like they're able to get the updates as well.
Yep, right? It's 100% for free for everyone. That's in the app we're rolling out in 2 or 3 weeks. That's going to majorly change things. That also, everything's for free with app updates for the sites in that regard.
Yeah, so if you don't have a lead site, you can come to our website, schedule a demo. We'll go through it all. If you already do have a lead site, either contact support through the help button or go back and touch base with your sales rep. What I'm going to recommend you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, contact your sales rep, and they'll explain to you whether or not your site is eligible for cookies or not. There are some limitations depending on where when you signed up, but we'll just handle all that. Shouldn't be not very.
Yeah, but it's something you really need to be doing in like 2016 is personalization and customization of your marketing for all your leads, because just look around you this week. Like when you go to the grocery store, when you go to Starbucks, just look at all the personalization efforts. Like Starbucks mobile apps trying to personalize their marketing. Same with Chipotle's texting marketing. Same with Coca-Cola's bottle marketing. Same with everywhere you look. Just look this week for all the customization that's happening in marketing, and you'll know that that's where you have to be in 2016 and beyond.
Well, yeah, even like the receipts when you go to the checkout counter, and we've done this for a while. They give you receipts based off your purchase history, and that's why they had shoppers cards and stuff like that. This is like your real estate shoppers card, and then and then obviously retargeting. It's not a coincidence that you're on Amazon looking at something, and then you go on another site, and boom, that same expensive camera you were dreaming of. Oh, just me. I don't know. And it's showing up on that website. So it's really, it's not, it's awesome because this is technology that has existed, does work, and now you don't have to be a huge franchise corporate company. You don't have to be Zillow and Trulia to take advantage of it. Any agent can. So, cool. Yeah, I mean, I know that was more about cookies, but I mean, cookies is the best way to follow up, to track your leads.
I mean, you just have to. Like Google Analytics tells you how much traffic you're getting and where it's coming from. In terms of what your leads do on your site, you've got to figure that out, and you've got to find a solution for personalizing your marketing, getting all of your email, maybe your newsletter, your CRM, getting them all tracked and everything that they're doing online so that you can better follow up with people. It's just what you have to do and to stay afloat in 2016 and keep up with the industry. Absolutely. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you generate more leads for your business. We definitely are here to help you. If you do like this content, check out our blog at easyagentpro.com. And if you haven't already, schedule a call to get your very own lead generating website with cookies at easyagentpro.com. And we'll talk to you then.